Track and field runner Sha'Carri Richardson's notoriety increased after winning a qualifying race for the Olympics with her bold look and brash demeanor. After testing positive for marijuana and being disqualified from the Olympics, her profile grew even more as she became attached to the larger discussions regarding the legalization of the drug and the Olympic policies concerning its use. Sha'Carri's style and attitude has led to her becoming more and more polarizing. Some suggest that she needs to humble herself, but the path to greatness is complex. While it takes humility to study one's craft and put the work in, it also takes radical confidence to even position oneself to achieve excellence. Stubborn pride is often the very fuel that propels performers when the pressure peaks. But we expect them to flip the switch as soon as the clock stops. We expect them to be gracious in victory and meek in defeat. And they should be, but sometimes they just can't. That doesn't make it right.
But I understand.
The old adage goes, if you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say anything at all. But athletes aren't afforded the luxury of choosing silence, at least not without fines and heavy backlash. We want to hear from them right then and there, while they're still sweaty and gasping for breath. Because that's where the drama is. That's where the raw is. That's where the real is. Of course, that's also where the salty is, and the petty is, and the immaturity is. Sha'Carri has had missteps and pressurized moments, but she's also shown maturity, contrition, and accountability when she's had time to decompress.
After the race, I was in a heat of passion, and I apologize for my language. This last month was a journey for me, but that's no excuse, because at the end of the day, I'm an athlete, and today was a day, but it's not every day. It's not the end of the world.
What ails Sha'Carri Richardson is the same thing that ails many people who fail to maximize their potential: a victim mindset. In her post-meet interview, Sha'Carri went off on her perceived haters.
You know what I'm capable of? Count me out if you want to. Talk all the you want, because I'm here to stay. I'm not done. I'm the 6th fastest woman in this game ever, and can't nobody ever take that from me.
In a later interview, she was asked about her many passionate supporters.
Do you feel the love around everyone?
Even after the race, even before the race, feeling the love, feeling the genuineness was amazing. Knowing the fact that people actually care, like people actually see what it is that I want to bring to the sport, what I put out there, and it's a blessing for it to be recognized. And so I'm thankful for the support, and I will continue to be thankful for the support.
She beamed when talking about the outpouring of support that she's received and expressed her gratitude. But why did she have to be reminded of her supporters? And if she has so much love and support, then why make such a fuss over having haters?
You gotta be grateful. You need haters. Ladies, if you got 14 women hating on you, you need to figure out how to get to 16 before the summer get here.
Why even acknowledge them? Simple. Because those who wallow in victimhood have a glass half empty perspective. They are so convinced that they have been wronged that they often lose sight of any advantages, benefits, or support that they have. But unfortunately, Sha'Carri's missteps haven't been limited to those pressurized moments surrounding her track meets. She claimed that she supports women, but she was seemingly the only runner who didn't embrace her competitors once the run was over. She then liked a tweet that likened Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce to Lil Wayne. Then she liked a tweet that ridiculed Jamaicans as leading a destitute existence. She then rebuffed public support from fellow American track and field runner Allison Felix. The most daunting thing about the position that Sha'Carri is in is that the people that she would consider to be supporters are only going to encourage her to keep running in place. It's her so-called haters who are giving her the dose of reality that she needs in order to wake up and get back on the right track. I've seen and heard many Sha'Carri defenders conjure justifications for her behavior. Well, Jamaicans don't like us either. Well, Shelly-Ann was smiling when she walked by Sha'Carri, so she must have been trying to shade her. Because why else would she be smiling and looking at the crowd after a top 2 performance? Also, she posted the eyes emoji on Twitter, so that had to be shade for Sha'Carri. And Allison Felix offered support on TV, but maybe behind the scenes she wasn't offering support. And those who have been criticizing Sha'Carri have been accused of tearing down a black woman or not protecting black women. Sha'Carri's supporters are just going to continue feeding her delusions that the world is against her. If it takes a hater to tell Sha'Carri that she needs to stop making excuses, stop disrespecting her fellow runners, to stay clean, work hard, and show some decorum, then she should be begging for more haters. I remember my pastor sharing a story about how administrative errors made by the university that he attended prevented him from completing his master's degree. His sermons made it clear that he was educated and well-read. He just didn't have the credentials to match his credibility. And so whenever he would converse with peers about education, he would share a story about how the university's incompetence robbed him of his opportunity to complete his degree. When hearing of his misfortune, his peers would express empathy. But one day, there was one fellow pastor who just wasn't trying to hear it. It just sounded like excuses to him. To that other pastor, whether or not the school made mistakes was irrelevant. That was years ago. The way he saw it, if my pastor still wanted a degree, he could still earn one. Yes, he would have to sacrifice time and effort to attain a degree while being married with children and pastoring a church full time. But he also had more resources now than he did back when he was younger. The way that other pastor saw it was if my pastor felt that he wouldn't benefit from completing his degree, then he should let go of the bitterness he felt about the situation. But if he still wanted that degree, then he just needed to go get it. My pastor eventually went back to school, earned his master's degree, then continued on to earn his doctorate as well. And in retrospect, he realized that all of the support that he received from all of the people who listened to him air his grievances and echoed his sentiments, lamenting the unfairness that stifled his progress, all they did was help him feel justified about running in place. It was only the hater who wasn't trying to hear any excuses that motivated him to strive for more. In Sha'Carri's case, if she's satisfied with being the 6th fastest woman ever, then she can rest on her laurels. If she's not satisfied and she wants to be the best that she can be, then she is going to have to accept the fact that she's not the best right now, and that she's going to have to put the work in if she wants to become the best. Complacency and excellence cannot coexist. Remember to gather facts, gain knowledge, get truth.